Hey, what's up?
All right. What is up, everybody? Glad to have you in here. I did see someone want to join in on the live. Just gonna have to wait a little bit as we get through the beginning part there. So,
Just letting you know, I'm in the car for a little bit, so I'll just watch.
okay, no problem, Cody. Well, this is Simply Investing. Welcome in, guys, for another episode of Market Morning News. So we talk everything from crypto, stocks, business, real estate, economics, finance, whole thing. All about trying to get that back. We are now live on all platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or I guess you can call it X now, whatever the devil people want to call it nowadays. But glad to have you guys. Glad to have you guys in here. Really appreciate the support. If you like and subscribe, if you do want to see our past lives, they're all recorded on YouTube. So you can go to the link in the bio on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you can go there and check us out on YouTube. Also, got a lot of people already coming in here. Be mindful our moderators are not in just yet. So bear with us. If I miss your comment, I do apologize. But we will try to get to you as so. But welcome in. Glad to have you guys in here. We're going to talk about everything. Cody is the guy that got me into crypto 2 years ago. I'm helping him get into business, real estate. I've been investing since the last 20 years, and I have been a Series 7 broker, so I've just been a trader. So with that saying, we're going to get into it. I know normally on these mornings we talk about crypto, so crypto is still up 0.5% overall in the market volume. We got 1.09 trillion market cap. We still have trading volume at 59 billion, along with basically everything's about the same, other than we're getting close to 50 neutral. We're at 47 on the greed and fear index, so it's definitely looking like we're getting closer towards the greed side as more people get back into the market. We did have a crazy shoot up with Bitcoin. There's some fake news announced about the iShares ETF with BlackRock, and it has not been approved yet by the SEC. So, and came from a site that is known for giving out fake crypto news and FUD. And unfortunately, they liquidated $85 million of shorts on that. So we got to be careful about that that used to happen a lot 30 years ago in the stock market. People put out fake news. It would affect shorts or puts or whatever people are doing, basically betting. As you know here, if you've been a long time viewer here, we don't bet. We just do long-term holds. We put the money in, we dollar cost average in, and we sell when the price hits our sale target, and that could either be a year, 2 years, 3 years, or whenever it will be. So, but keep going over everything. We got Bitcoin still up about 0.3%, up 1% on the day. Shout out to Mad Marlon, good name there. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate the support there. We have Ethereum still in the 1500 range, XRP just shy of 50 cents. Everyone's down about 1%. We have Polygon still at 52 cents, Litecoin still above $60, Polkadot about 369, down about 2.5%, Chainlink at 737, down about almost 2%. We got Stellar also down 3%. We have Cosmos down 3%. And we have Hedera down about 2.5%, kind of climbing back up a little bit there. We have Quant also holding strong at $85. Like always, Quant goes kind of opposite of what the market is. So if Bitcoin rises, you can bet Quant will be either stagnant or dropping. We got some news too about the Simmons case. Still a lot of craziness going on. It looks like he's going to be facing 115 years in there for the charges and everything. So it is definitely something we're going to keep an eye out on as more info gets out about this case. It's looking more and more like another guy. I have to see his YouTube, but I'm not going to show it on here. I don't remember his tag, but I was watching it early this morning when I was getting ready to start my day. He was showing actual financial evidence that SBF, this was all 100% a scam. From Alameda to FTX to using consumer funds for his lavish lifestyle. And his girlfriend confirmed that his appearance, what he was driving, his personality was all crafted to meet a certain image to help garnish multiple multiple avenues of clients' assets. So he was basically faking effective altruism to garnish the maximum amount of input of venture capital fund money, retail investor money, and he specifically told key people in programming his websites that he could have a back door to his to Alameda and his exchanges. So he was just siphoning off money left and right. And unfortunately, I don't think anything's going to come of it, because I don't think any of the investors are going to get their money back from it, because there's just no money left. It was all spent on degeneracy, drugs, alcohol, food, and unfortunately, you can't get any of that money back. Shout out to Crypto Dream. See you in here, buddy. Welcome in. I see you're on the YouTube side. Glad to have in. If you guys don't know, follow him on. He's been a longtime supporter, and he's one of our moderators too on TikTok. So follow him on TikTok. Follow him on YouTube. Crypto Dream. He's definitely a guy you should be following. He definitely has a good insight on how he views crypto, especially coming from the beginning investor here. Shout out to Edwin. Glad to have you in here. Thanks for the support. Hope you're doing well and chasing that bag. Hope everyone's doing well and chasing the bags today. You know, as more of us come in, if we can get the likes up, share, we could really help us out. I'm here, crypto. I think all my live is on and my mic's on and everything. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me, or if some of you can go to the YouTube side, hear me too. But I believe we should have audio. My audio's on. Hey, Cody, can you hear me? Yeah, my audio's on. Well, as you can see.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just a little curious because I can't seem to hear. Hold on 1 second there. I'm going to see if I can hear myself on here. Give me 1 second. Shout out, Callie. Glad to have you here. Oh, glad to see it's on TikTok. Let's see if it's on YouTube. You know how things go. It's just kind of crazy. Let me go to my YouTube channel here and see. Okay, yeah, it's running. Okay, so all right. Well, thank you. You always gotta check it. Hey, we do it live, and I'm inexperienced. I'm not very tech savvy, so you guys got to bear with me. Bear with me on this. But glad to have you guys in here. Let's go over some more topics. I want to go a little bit into quant, because I still think quant is a good buy. And then after that, we're going to take a little look into ADA, Cardano, because it's starting to look interesting to me. It's got the highest developers, I think. But it's the charts are starting to look good. I'm starting to see it more again as a long-term opportunity. But let's take a look at quant here. We're down 6% on the month. It's been pretty steady, almost acting like a stable coin, really. But we haven't had any news about them. They're still doing the same things that they've been doing before. They're working on the Roslyn project. They're working on interoperability and all the stuff they said. However, they are looking at, it's looking like, I don't think we're going to see a big dip on this when the market does its big dip. We might only see a 10 or 15% down. But for you guys watching, I do have quant in my portfolio. And if you do have quant in your hard wallet, make sure you have ETH too, so you can move it off to an exchange when you're ready to sell. I do have a price target of $58 for quant. I'm looking for that to happen probably after Thanksgiving. I do think we're going to spike a little bit for Thanksgiving as families get together. People talk, people say what they're, families talk about their investments, what they're doing, how they're faring in this economy. And that's what's most likely going to be happening. Shout out to David. Hey, I want to learn crypto to trade, need help. Hey, great. Now I can't help you, David, with day trading. Um, I'm not that experienced on, especially day trading cryptocurrency. I can't. I don't do that. What I do is I look at the projects, I see what we're investing in, and see what they're doing, and we seem to be doing that. Shout out to Crypto Dreamer saying we're having no audio on YouTube. I was just in there and we weren't having any audio. Shout out to King Midas, great name. Thanks for the follow. Um, Shout out to Edwin. I like Quant. They'll be handling all the ISO coins. Yeah, and they got a lot of smart money behind it. So let me look at this again and see here. Yeah, yeah. The hey, Crypto Dream. It seems to be working on my end. So I don't know if you got your maybe you have it maybe you have your silent button on there. So I don't know. It seems to be working. So, but thank you though for keeping me updated. He's a great moderator. Hopefully, I can get a soundboard, and an engineer, I guess, and I can get this all straightened out. So terribly sorry there. Um, but if I could say back to David's comment, if you want to learn, you can learn how to go look at some of the videos I have on YouTube. I try to cover once a week crypto. I do a deep dive in it. Uh, Great to hear, Crypto Dream. Glad it's working now. Um, we also want to, you know, you want to look at that, do deep dives, learn about the projects, understand the project, understand their relevance to other people, the economy, and everything, and that will help you. That's a good investment. The key thing, David, is you got to understand the project you're investing in. That goes with stocks as well. You can't invest in a company that you don't know, and you can't invest in a company you don't know or don't understand how they earn money and expect to off of them. Shout out to Edwin. You were mentioning Alameda Research. Yes, Sam Bankman. It came out in further testimony with Sam Bankman's ex girlfriend that his image was she understood, and he told her that his image was crafted. He paid great attention to detail on his image, how he portrays effective altruism. Also, many programmers that are key programmers in the companies also said that he was told by him to program in backdoors so he can access funds. And so not only so Alameda can take consumer funds on FTX, but also so that he can go in Alameda and take out funds. And then one of the original founders of Alameda with Sam left Alameda because they disagreed with his vision and disagreed with he wasn't really about a true effective altruism, which I believe is fake anyway. Effective altruism is just a way to smell your own farts and believe your own stink, because most of us we're going to help the people we know or the communities we care about. But to say that you're going to work hard to earn several $billions and then give it all away, he didn't seem like that type. And as soon as the case we found out they were living in some $40 million penthouse down in the Bahamas. Kind of figured out what was up. Shout out to Edwin. Do you know if it's true that he's Senator Schiff's son, Adam? That I don't know. I haven't heard that rumor before. Anything surprising, anything can be possible now with this damn case. There's a lot that's coming out as we go along, but I have a really good feeling that I don't think he's a son because he looks like the parents that were shown. He looks like a mix of them, but there is a lot of collusion between him, senators, everyone, and he doesn't look like Senator Swift. He does not look like. He just doesn't look like it. But you never know. Like I said, you can never know. But the thing though is that everything just lined up too perfectly. Like the parents knew each other, their kids knew each other. They had both families had big connections in politics, and they were angling to pull a Rockefeller move, which was basically trying to push legislation to kick out his competitors and build up his business. And his business was solely based on fraud. And it's they say only 80 million was spent, but there's rumors that like 500 to 4 to maybe 700 million was spent on political donations towards parties. And some people are saying, some people that are kind of delving into the matter are saying that a lot of those donations affected the elections and everything. And he donated to both sides. So he did donate heavy to the Democratic side, but he did donate to both Republicans and Democrats. So just keep that in mind as we go here. But back to our stock pick here. Let's go look over to ADA. Let me go back over to ADA over here. Let me just get that off there. Let's go take a look at Cardano here. Now, the reason why I said it started interesting is because it had the activity on the network starting to really, really spike. So, and as you can see here on Coin Market Cap, if you're following us also on YouTube, we also have almost 500,000 followers. People are really watching this. The community is pretty active. There are developers working on it. My thing is that we are down to a pretty good baseline. Like we're right about where it's almost double, not quite, but it's right about where it was right before 2020, the end of 2020. Like it was right there before it spiked up to $3. So I'm thinking, even though the economy is in recession and we're hitting the bottom of the recession in the next 6 months, we're probably not going to have a bull run for 2 years. That's just my opinion. I'm looking for end of 2025, early 2026 for the bull run. I think now would be a good time to start getting into Cardano. I'm seriously looking at investing into Cardano at this moment. Just because even though the staking rewards are not great, and I'm probably only going to stake it for a year, that's just mine. Shout out to JA Digital. Hey, buddy, glad to have you in here. Really appreciate the support. Shout out to Do Your Own Research, one of another moderators in here. Welcome in. Glad to have you. Excuse me. I'm looking at Cardano I'm thinking it's going to beat the all-time high it had of 310 and might hit about 450. So I think it's going to be, and yes, shout out to Mr. Steele, another great supporter. Glad to have you in here. Cardano DeFi is going to go crazy. Yes, it is going to just take off. Like the activity is going to take off in the coming markets. And with believing that this next bull run is going to have the biggest influx of retail investors. It could be anywhere between, we might go from like 6 million average users and investors in crypto to 10, 15, possibly as high as 40 million people. Because now that the economy has shifted all the way down, the free money's gone, the low interest rates are gone. It's harder to earn money. It's harder to save money. People are going to be looking for something to invest in, everybody, even if it's a couple $100. And if they can swing it, they will do it. Shout out to Edwin. I'm looking forward to stack up on Quant, ADA, and Algo. Algo is probably one of mine that I might invest in when we get closer to the bull run. It is on my watch list, but Quant is definitely in my wallet. It's 15% of my wallet at this current moment. although I'm definitely going to be making some investments in the investment into quant. I know Cody's only been investing in ETH and quant over this next year. That's what he's kind of committed to. I once a month I buy a little bit of Bitcoin, but not much. And I'm really just trying to build quant, Chainlink, and my dot holdings because I think those have the biggest ROIs. And then following that is Ethereum. I think Ethereum can hit somewhere between 7,500 and 9,500, although it could hit as 10,000 at the next bull run. It's very hard to say because I'm thinking this next bull run is going to be the highest amount of retail investor involvement coming in. So we're going to have a lot of new investors, a lot of new money, a lot of new things coming in. And who knows where they're going to put that money. I hear a lot of average retail investors for crypto. They're talking about Dogecoin, Shiba Coin, all this other fun stuff, fun meme coins, and those might hit hard first. But as a bull market goes up, and people make money, they'll start putting more money into other things. Shout out to Stu754. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate you. Shout out to Live and Learn. Glad to have you in here, one of our other longtime supporters. So welcome back. Glad to have you in here. Thank you guys for liking the live and sharing. Really appreciate the support. Hopefully we can break our goal this live. Usually doesn't happen on a Tuesday, but we can see if we can break the all-time high of likes of 8,600. So hopefully you guys enjoy the live. Shout out to a digital quant and Chainlink. Yeah, but Chainlink definitely has a good potential, just about the same to me as Dot, and I think they'll both skyrocket over. Looking more on the stock side, we got a lot of earnings calls coming up in the beginning of November. I just put a video that's going to go live for you guys on Friday, but if you want to check it out early, you can also join the Patreon. About PayPal, how I do think that's going to go down as people are no longer spending money online. That's going to be the first to be cut. Shout out to Mr. Steele, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Algo, XLink, VET, and CKB. Accumulating those. Hey, good job. You're almost the same. I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, XRP, but I also have DOT, Litecoin, AdShare, which I think is going to be one of the biggest gaming tokens around because it's involved in the advertising on all those platforms and play to earn platforms. But those are also very good projects. I'm just watching right now. I'm not sure what CKB is. That's something new, so I might have to look into that. VET is also a good one. I see a lot of people investing. It has a lot of good potential. But as you know, we only have so much capital, and I only have so much money to invest into crypto, so I only put it into certain things. Shout out to Edwin. Loom is good to stake. We'll have to check that one out too. I don't understand the power change on DOT. That's actually a good question for Cody. He actually explained to me all of DOT, how DOT worked 2 years ago, and I've been an investor ever since. And like I said, I'm new to crypto. I've only been following it for 2 years, and I'm doing a lot of research with you. But I don't know, Cody, if you're able to maybe chime in on the power change DOT. But shout out to Mr. Roga's house, Mr. Rogers' house. Oh, okay, Mr. Rogers' house. Thanks for the follow. Shout out to Mr. Steele. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Thank you guys. Thank you all for your support. Cody, are you still there? He might be stepped away for a moment. Once he comes back there, Mr. Steele, we'll have Cody talk about the power change. But what I understand is how the power change should work. Is helping to decentralize the Polkadot community. But hey, while we're here, let's look it up together. Let me go back over here. Go to DOT. Where's DOT? There's DOT. Well, oops. So we can actually just go right to the white paper and take a look at this. Oops, download. Of course, we want to download that into English. Let's see if we can do control find para change. Okay, so I'm gonna find out what they mean by para change here. Oops. Hey Cody.
Hey, what's up?
All right. Glad to have you back in here. One of our followers asked about power change. Mr. Steele asked about power change, and you do a lot of following on dots. I figured that'd be a good question for you to answer.
Oh yeah, parachains. Basically, the more parachains there are, the more validators there are, the faster the network is. So, Polkadot's ambition is to have 100,000 to 1,000,000 transactions per second one day, and in order for that to happen, you got to have parachains, and you got to have more and more parachains. Well, over time, with new parachains being added, the network's just going to get
Mhm.
faster and faster.
There you go. So basically, decentralizing the network.
It's decentralizing the network, and it's just overall making it more fair on governance and everything, because that's what Polkadot's all about: governance and just being fair. Because a lot of these blockchains are controlled by the creators and the developers. They're not really controlled by the token holders like Polkadot is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, apps. Yeah, that's basically how I viewed it as it's decentralizing while adding speed and helping with the interoperability of the platform because you need more speed to be able to communicate to more different blockchains and technologies as fast as you can, which of course you need more validators and more things staked and everything. So Mr. Steele, so yes, it's like a scaling solution. I hope that answers that for you there, buddy. Um, so moving away from crypto, I wanted to talk about a video that I saw here. Actually, no, I think it's on his morning show. Oh, videos. Because there was a creator that said it here. I got to find that one for you. But basically, he was saying that savings is your personal saving account. You shouldn't be putting your money in savings accounts. I just gotta find it for you guys. No, it's got to be on here too. But my thing about it is there's a lot of misconceptions about this, and I was actually listening to his broadcast on the way here, or I was listening to his video, and I wanted to really explain that you got to have your savings account. Like you can't go through life without having a reserve for emergency funds. Um, and it should be easily accessible. Now he goes on a lot. You can check out his channel, Anton Daniels, and he has the Millionaire Show. So shout out to his channel. It's just I don't. There are some things I agree with, some things I don't agree with him, but I disagree with I disagree strongly with not having a savings account for your emergency fund because you don't want to pull from your investments because then you'll create losses. You don't want to pull out of equity positions out of companies. You want to have this money, especially if you got kids, because you know anything can happen, any unexpected bills, any and like he was talking about how what could you possibly need more than $1,000 to fix your car. It's like, well, if you're driving a 10-year-old car and you can't afford to get payments like right now is impossible for a lot of people to get payments, and it behooves you to fix the car rather than try to get a new one right now, because if you own your car, there's no reason for you to go and get a $900 payment on there. Like I just don't see that being a viable option. I think I'm gonna have to go switch my account here to my private one. I think I was watching it on that. Let me go to my history because I got to pull this one up here. Here it is. Okay, I got this muted here, so I can't see here. Yep, he talks about it right here. So I'm gonna put it right there. So so he doesn't strike me, but fair use is fair use. Right? We're here to critique, not really go say anything. I shout to Rod. You can be without savings, you'll just be in trouble. Exactly. Like, and also having a liquid savings account that you're not touching puts you in better standing with getting a home from a bank because then they could see that you're financially responsible. Shout out to Tate 1971. If you owe taxes, should you be buying Riptide? Not too sure what Riptide is, but if you owe money on taxes, you should be paying off your taxes first. You got to pay off your tax debt first because if you don't pay that off, then the IRS has a right to seize everything else. Riptide. I don't know what that song is. Or not song, I'm sorry. I guess it's a song, but I don't know what company that is or crypto. But what you should do first if you're going to do anything, you need you need to pay off any tax debts that you have, make sure you're current with all your taxes, and then pay off all any and all credit card debts and things like that, or at least have a plan on how you're paying down your debt, or at least maintaining 33% utilization so you can keep your accounts active. Shout out to do your own research. You need about 4K cash to get into a car. Financing deal these days is if your credit is bad. Yeah, if your credit's bad, most likely they're going to ask for a bit more commitment, or they're just going to turn you down for a loan. So, and it's getting hard. It's like brand new vehicles is just very hard. Even used vehicles now they're going at a premium, and a lot of it has to do with the cash for cars, the cash for cars or cash for clunkers. I'm sorry, that happened during the Obama administration, and it kind of dried up the used car and clunker market. Because back in the day, you used to go to a buy here, pay here if you couldn't go to a dealership. Now you're going to a dealership, and usually the buy here, pay here was like, oh, it was crazy that you're spending $1,000 a month. But now the buy here, pay here is like $500 a month. You put whatever money down and $500 a month for that vehicle, and then you want to go to a dealership, you're putting 4K down, and your first payment's 1,200 on a brand new vehicle, or maybe 800 on a used, and it's like, and you're not, and you got most people have negative equity on their car that they own, so you're rolling that negative equity into your next loan. And I saw this coming way back in like 2014. I had some friends do it. I had one of my exes. She was doing it. She was just rolling negative equity into every vehicle. Every 2 years, getting a new vehicle. Every 2 years, new car. Every 2 years, new car. Every 2 years, new car, new car. She had more new cars than I do. I had the same car for like 10 years. I had the same Toyota pickup truck for 10 years. No power windows, no power seats, no cruise control. Just cruising along. My payments were $297. And it's like I don't understand. Like it's a perfectly working truck. It does its job. Now it's part of my moving company, and it makes about $800 to $1,000 a day for me. So it's well worth the money. Although it's actually next July is the end of the payments on there, and I bought that with no money down. So it's crazy, and it's also crazy that little pickup truck, when I bought it, it was only 14,000 when I bought it, because it was bought used with like 50,000 miles. It was a guy just had it for his farm. Now I can get 16,000 for it, and it's almost paid off. So, make sure.
Yeah, see, that's
Oh,
the
go ahead,
thing.
Cody.
Like, I could easily get a car note right now. Oh, sorry, I came out of nowhere, but I could easily get a car note right now. I'm currently going through life with no car, but do I need a car? No, because I live literally right next door over to my job and I just walk to work. And I'm saving money on not paying gas. I'm saving money on no car insurance. And pretty much I just invest $900 a month into crypto. I understand not everybody, but it's like I'm in the position to where, I'm able to live with parents right now. I don't buy anything. I don't buy nice clothes. I don't buy Jordans. I literally put my money into the markets and I treat my Ledger Nano X as if it's my savings account. Now I do have my bank account and I do have an emergency fund in there, but most of my money is going into my ledger, which is technically my real savings account.
And you see, and your savings account is going to be different for every person because your if you have two kids, a house, and all of that, then your reserve account's going to have to be a lot more than what Cody's will be or what even mine will be. Shout out to Rod. I drove off the lot. All they wanted was my signature, and yeah, you could do that with good credit. And folks, that's what good credit does for you. It allows you to get the things you want at the terms you want. But most people right now, it's like you can still have good credit, but if you also got a mortgage, another car payment, you got student loan debt, it's like the bank needs some collateral with it. If you have a business, they want you to put some money into it, so that way you have some commitment to the loan. And right now, businesses are considered high risk, and doesn't matter how you piece it, unless if you are a Fortune 500 company, you're probably going to have a little difficulty getting loans, even if you have a good history. Now, for my business, I don't loan any money off of my moving company or logistics company. I just get one vehicle at a time, pay it off, and we get the next one. Shout out to Rod. They asked me anything you want to put down. I was like, nope. If it works out for you and you have the reserves for it, and your income is secure enough that it's not going to change, then I'd recommend being able to do that. Um, I definitely don't recommend buying something over sticker value, especially with if you're in the position where you did well with a business, you're starting to make your money and everything. Don't buy like one of those exotic luxury cars outright, because that is a lot of waste of money. Unless if it's your absolute dream car and you plan on having that car for the rest of your life, then bespoke it to what you like. But otherwise, let that buy a used one, because you'll save quite a bit off of that, and you'll still have the status of having the vehicle or enjoy the time with it. But I want to pull this up. So shout out to Anton Daniels. I just want to show here about his about saving, and it's like I disagree with some of it, but I don't think you should just be squirreling it solely away into your savings account. You should get to the point to where you should right now have a year's worth of covering your expenses. So if you lose your job and you can't find a job for a year, your lifestyle is set. So like your home is paid for, your car is paid for. You can instantly pay off all your credit card debts. I never recommend keeping your credit card debt more than 33% is recommended, but I try to keep mine at 10% utilization. So like my credit card for my business, like today I just bought $2 tools, all of that stuff, and we did it on a card, and in 2 weeks it's going to get paid off. um I don't recommend trying to keep everything on there. Shout out to Rod. Car is a waste. Definitely, if you ain't making money from a car, it's not worth it. Well, that's true too. But when you get to a certain level of wealth, you can buy the car that you want. It doesn't have to make money for you, but you should be able to either buy it cash or get a great deal on financing. However, I think in the next 3 or 4 years, everything will stabilize, everything will get back to normal, and rates will come back down on these vehicles, and we'll start seeing um, normal loan amounts. Because I could tell you right now, I for a while there was was very curious, because I've seen people where they were spending like $500-600 on regular cars a month. This was like 5 years ago. I was like, there's no way, because my loan on my Mercedes was only $299 at the time. Granted, it was a lease, but it was my second car. But I was like, I'm not spending $500 on a car, and especially since I'm not going to keep it. So, it's I bought it for the I bought it because I liked it, but I also bought it for the intent to when I had to go to an event with work, I was able to kind of show up in style. So, not too fancy, but enough to say, okay, this guy is doing well. Shout out to Mad Malone. How do you make money off a car? Well, there's a couple ways. So, like if you own a transportation company, like a taxi company, or a courier company, or like you bought a truck and you bought a truck for your like moving business or something like that. That's how you can make money off of it. Or if you're like if you're using it for business purposes, like say if you owned like a financial advisor firm and you targeted high-end clients, so you bought a G-Wagon, you can then write that off because that car is technically working for your business as just carting your clients around, regardless of whether you use it off. Now the miles, you can only track the miles you use for business. You can't track the miles that you use it for personally. How do you make money off your? Oh, I'm sorry. Shout out to Rod. We already said that one, so I hope that answers that question there, Malone. Rod, which Benz you had? You can rent your car in a hire car app. Yeah, you could do eToro as well. I don't recommend it, not for high end cars. I would do like pickup trucks because pickup trucks, people always need pickup trucks, and right now people are trying to find cheaper ways to do moving. So renting out your pickup truck for someone to move stuff around, that's I think that's a good idea for a couple $100 or like $100 for a day. But you just gotta remember, make sure you have all the licenses and insurance in place as well, because if someone causes a claim, you'll be up shit creek. Which Benz did I have? I had the CLA AMG CLA 45, 2018 at the time, and then I let it go back to the lease to the dealership because it was only on a 3-year lease. And when 2021 came around, I sent it back. Shout out to Rod. I got 2 cars. I rent one, and it pays for both and insurance. Okay, as long as you got insurance and you got the proper insurance, go right ahead. Because there's a lot of people that just went right into eToro over the pandemic, and they lost a lot. They lost a lot because they're trying to rent these luxury cars. They're getting no money down on. There's a guy I knew that used to be in my group that he bought 2 Huracans and 1 Aventador. He put no money down, started renting those out of state, in I think it was Dallas, and someone, and of course a claim happened, and his insurance dropped because his insurance was for personal use, not for a commercial rental, and he didn't have the license to do so. It was just a debacle, and I never saw him again. I guess he went out of business and declared bankruptcy. So you just guys got to be careful with that. Shout out to Do Your Own Research. I followed a eToro guy, and he said he took 40 photos of each car per day on every car he rented out, spending most of his time taking care of photos. Shout out to Rod. I lost a car. Some lady totaled it. They pay me back everything. Yeah, if you got the insurance for it. But there are some people that, like, if you don't properly get the finance, like, there's certain values. Like, I don't think an insurance company is going to care about a $20,000 Corolla or like an average everyday car. But if you're talking about like you're talking about a $300,000, $400,000 car that you're renting out, you better make sure you have everything right, because they might get you for fraudulent use of their of picking the wrong insurance. So it's just careful. I just heard horror stories, but I think you can make a lot of money on eToro if you stick to the everyday model, and especially if you're by airports or like a traffic hub or even like a college town, because a lot of them in college, people are staying in college even longer, so 24, 25, 26 years old, they need cars sometimes to go around or to rent to go back home, to come back. But I'd also pick up some pickup trucks and see if you can expand that business route, because I think you advertising some pickup trucks, $100 unlimited miles or whatever the terms are, you could probably make some money because people just need pickup trucks because they're trying to save money every which way. And most people can't even afford to take care of their pickup trucks. Anyway, let's get over to this guy because, like, I think he said it here. I just want to see real quick.
Would see spikes around the dates when the stimulus checks were sent out.
So let me go to a different screen and share.
Of course, the other thing.
There we go. Okay. Oops. Okay, here we go. I got it fixed there for you guys. Shout out to 710. Glad to have you in here. Shout out to Rod. You need extra insurance with the app because your insurance won't cover. Exactly. I just bought more XLM. Let's go. There you go. Glad to see everyone's getting those bags together. Trying to get the most I can under 11 cents. Yeah, but I have a feeling, Rod, that everything, both stocks and crypto, are going to go down a little further coming at the end of November, beginning of December. But let's go back here. I want to hit play, see. And you see that like that statement is what we can kind of go off of because it doesn't make sense. Like the reason why you have a savings is in case everything just goes kaput. And it's like I was telling Cody, I have a lot in my cash sitting on the sidelines. And it's not like necessarily sitting on the sidelines because I'll never probably spend a lot of it. I got a huge payoff out of my construction company. So all the three of us were able to pay each other a really good sum of money after some really, really, really big project got completed and finally we got paid on. The thing though is that it's excuse me, it's you want to have it there because like I put about 60% of it into CDs. Now I don't know where people are saying you're getting 0.0% because I just put it with a local bank at 5.1%. It comes out to like $51,100 off of $1 million sitting in the CD in the bank. And they're still offering, you can open up a CD and get 4% for $1,000 or like 4.9 for $10,000. So, and it's outpacing inflation. So keep in mind a lot of what people say is they're trying to hit the negative interest button in your mind to try to do a little fear mongering, but you really want to have savings. And like that comment that and Daniel says, like you really want to have savings, like you really want to have, especially if you got kids, because and it's not just like what if your kids are out in the street playing baseball and they break someone's window. You think they're just going to sit around, wait for insurance and all this stuff and then fix the window? No, they kind of want you to fix the window today, right? When people have problems, when when something happens to someone else, they kind of want it fixed immediately. It's kind of like I said, like if a tornado comes in, blows the roof off your house, are you going to sit there and just twiddle your thumbs until the insurance gets together, pays the guys, do all this while you sit there with your house with no roof? No. You're going to go, you should have the reserve cash that's set aside so you can just say, hey, we can start this right now. Here's all the bills. Here's what I paid for. Let's get me reimbursed. That's how you want to do it. Like you don't want to be sitting there now. You can't live in your house. And after, like if you're in Arkansas, if that house sits like that for 60 days, they'll take the certificate of occupancy away from you. So you won't even be able to get back into your home. And then you'll have to go through that whole process again. Because like I had someone that lived like that was a client of mine from my moving side 2 years ago. Tornado blew through and he wasn't there for a year and a half. Well, he's still not in his home because they won't give him the certificate of occupancy until he pays for another inspection, which now paying for another inspection is like $2,500 for the house they have. So he's kind of up a shit's creek right now. So make sure you have that money set aside. Shout out to Billy Bob. Great name. Thanks for the follow. Glad to have you in here. We're kind of almost done. We're going to take some questions, or if you guys want to join live, just hit the request button on the guest and we can have you in here. I don't even know if I can look at that one before, but no. Okay. But glad to answer you guys any questions, because I think we're kind of done with Anton, with talking about Anton Daniels, because I just want to say that real quick. And like I said, I don't disagree with a lot of what he says. There's a lot that I agree with, but there's some things I disagree with. And one of the things I disagree with is, not having a savings account. You should absolutely have money just sitting aside, because the money there, the purpose of it is not to earn you money. The purpose there is to reserve or be on the sidelines. And like I said, I have another account that I just keep on the sidelines for crypto. I'm not constantly spending out of it, but I am leaving it there. It's not making a lot of money. It's like it's in a checking account making like 0.02% interest, but the whole point of it is to be ready to be deployed into something that I can use. And I have an account, same thing with my real estate business. As soon as there's money in there, as soon as a deal happens, then we got the money ready for it. And also, like your business, you have to reserve money for your business. Absolutely have to reserve money for your business. I reserve a shit ton of money. And luckily, last year was really good for me, so I was able to stash away quite a bit of money. And this year it's going to be good, but not quite as good as last year. But we're still making a healthy profit. So money is still being able to be stashed away. So I have reserve for payroll, reserve for my expenses, reserve for everything. So with that being said, though, everything seems to be, that seems to be the best way to go, my opinion. And I followed someone else that lived through the Great Depression, like the guy that taught me a lot. He went through World War II, born in the Great Depression era, like I think like late 20s he was born, and kind of grew up through the Great Depression. Like it was a solid decade of hardship. So he's lived through one of the worst economic times. He also lived through the oil crisis, other bad times, and everything else. So, and it's like I'm saying, and he lived through a lot of good times. Like I'm saying, he survived because he had cash to reserve his business. He used real estate to maintain his business and keep earning steady income for other things. And I kind of modeled myself after him. I have my two main businesses I work off of. Then I have my real estate business, and then I have an ownership in a construction company. So I kind of mirrored myself exactly after him, and my success is starting to show. And I have to attribute it all to watching him, because my first job as a 16-year-old was working for him as an errand boy in his office. Shout out to Rod. Rod, wow, you do a lot. Yeah, but when you start investing in other businesses and you don't have an active role in it, and you're just kind of like a silent partner, or like a equal partner, and you're with someone of good integrity that you're partnered with, and you have set standards and a set of business practices, you can make a lot of money while doing it. Like the construction company, there's 3 of us investing in it. 2 of us are really the cash flow investors, and the other guy was the investor. Is an investor that brought all the business, brought all the contacts, brought all the equipment, brought everything. He just didn't have the cash to do payroll, financing, all that stuff. And that's what we provided. Perfect match. Company blew up. We started making a ton of money. I just want to switch over here. And we started making a ton of money there. You getting money while you're sleeping. That's the way. And it's a way eventually. But I want you guys to understand, like, what I have is, I'm very fortunate to have it. And I seem to have stumbled into the right networking events at the right time with the right person at the right location, when I was able to have the right amount of money to be able to partner with. And even if you don't have all that, you still can be successful. And hopefully, if you're watching this and you're in your 20s, you can be very successful if you don't do all the bullshit that most 20-year-olds do. You save your money, You start investing, you use your income, which will be your best source of capital for that 10 years. And you put that money to work for you then. And then when you hit 30, hopefully you have good credit, your investment's paid off, and now you can do some serious investing in real estate. Maybe only get up to 5 or 10 buildings. Right now I have 147 doors, and I'm trying to get to 200 by the end of this year. Not looking like it's going to happen because I keep getting outbid, or it's hard for me to get the financing for some of these really big projects. But nonetheless, I keep forging forward. But that if you start with, and you're just buying starter homes, you'll make a lot of money. You'll have your money. You'll be able to do things. And then by the time you're 35, or by the time you're my age at 40, you'll be able to say, hey, economy's not great. Life's kind of stinking for a lot of people. Work sucks. You know what? I'm going to retire. I can live off of what I have and my investments and everything. I'm going to take a couple years, take a break, relax, recharge myself, find out who I want to be, do whatever, or spend time with your family. If you got kids, spend time with your kids, because a lot of people, by the time you're 40, some of your kids are like 8, 9, 10, 12 years old. And those are some really important times you want to be in your kid's life. Shout out to JA Digital, passive income. Yeah, I like the idea that people have behind passive income, but there really is no such thing as passive income, because you really got to work hard to build it first. And then it says not really passive. It's just that you did all the work on the front end. Now you're getting all the money on the back end. Shout out to Leland74. Thanks for joining in. Really appreciate the comment there. It's hard to trust anyone to be a partner in a business. It is. It is. That's why you got to network. And your network's going to really, 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 really help you out there, because you're going to be able to find people that align with your sensibilities. You can see how they do it. And like a lot of my networking events, there's people I thought, okay, maybe I might want to join in on them, and they're gone. In 2 years, they're just gone, back at a job, went bankrupt, whatever. So if I see someone and you've been in the same networking group as me for 5 years, you're probably making some money. Shout out to Jay Digital. Yes, it is, but business is like love. You have to love to be loved. I don't know about that, but it's like anything else. You got to put a lot of work into it. It's really like a marriage. Business is like a marriage. You got to put the work in. If you don't put the work in for a business, and you can still put the work in and do everything right, and it could still fail. That's the thing with business. But it is 100% more like a marriage. It's like you're going to hate it sometimes. It's not, it feels like it's not treating you right. But in the end, everything usually works out. Like 3 years ago, and Cody can attest to this, like 2021 sucked for me. Just sucked. It overall sucked. It sucked. And a lot of people I had helped ended up burning me. And, it was a crazy year. 2022 got way better. And then 2023 was even better. So like I said, a business art, especially the first 3 years, like 0 to year 3 is just, it's hardship. And this is the part that people don't understand from a lot of people, especially if they make a lot of money. People start to get jealous, saying, oh, they're not working. It's like, trust me, I'm working a lot. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Like even now, I'm feeling a little tired. Like my normal one cup of one of these here, 1 cup of coffee, is turning into 2. I drink the whole pot myself nowadays. I'm so tired, and I know I'm getting older. I guess my age is catching up with me, even though it doesn't look like it. I'm starting to like nod off at like 5 o'clock in the evening. It's exhausting. And I could say my life was easier when I had a 9 to 5. I came in, did my job, excelled at it, did great, maybe worked extra here, extra there. Something like the second to last year at the job at the furniture store I was working for, I was working 38 hours a week, and I was making $198,000 a year. I think the last year I was pacing 250 in commissions. And yeah, like any other times, it sucked. Like the first year I worked there, it sucked. We were fixing the whole floor, rebuilding stuffs, rebuilding the reputation of that store for that company. And then like the next year got better, next year got better. And then the final 2 years, it was like I was able to work like a half day Wednesday, full day Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then like 3 hours on a Sunday. Like I would show up to do my paperwork, my inventory counts and stuff like that, my portion of everything. And then like 1 o'clock would hit and I'm like, okay, I'm out. So it's like I really had like a 3-day weekend from that. So it was great. And I kind of missed that. But if you are thinking about starting a business, just understand this. Your first 3 years are going to be really hard. You're going to be draining money. You're going to be out of money by like year 2. You're going to be staring down bankruptcy more times than you like, and more times than just once, twice, 3 times. It's probably going to be like 50 times. You're like at the line staring at bankruptcy like, is this it? This is it. Is this it? This is it. Oh no, it doesn't look like it. But here's my mentality. If anything, I want you guys to take this with you. Here's my mentality. It's never okay, I'll try, because I'll try is, I won't do it. I am going to make this happen. I will make this happen. And then I have accomplished it. That's how I operate. There's no other way to operate if you're going to try and start a business, because even though like right now sales are down, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get sales up. I will get this up. I will make this happen. I will get back to where I was last year today. And what happened? We went from pacing a 40% loss to pacing a 20% loss. So it's all up here how you want to go with. Shout out to Leland's. I've been in business since 2010, and it's sell hard to get customer. I'm not sure which industry you're in, but sales is the hardest part of any business. And a lot of people don't understand, if you're not a good salesperson and a good people person, it's going to be very hard to learn those skills on the fly while you're trying to build a business. Like I've met a lot of people, their goal was, okay, I'll build a business and just make a lot of money. That's not how it works. You got to be the salesperson. You got to be the accountant. You got to be the business strategist. You got to be the marketer. You got to be everybody. And you have to have the mental fortitude to be able to figure out how to do things on your own. Like I try not to pay for things if I don't have to. I try to figure things out. Even like for example, fuse blew in the office, hired an electrician, came out, watched him, what he did, figured it out. Now I can do it myself. So whenever there's a bad storm and it breaks the breaker box, I know how to fix it. Pretty simple, right? And instead of paying someone $400 to do it, I can now do it for myself for $20. So, you want to do things like that, like simple things like, replacing a doorknob. Do you have to pay a handyman or can you do it yourself? When you get delivery of your office furniture, are you going to pay for them to assemble it or can you do it yourself? Simple things like that. Do you want to pay someone to do your marketing or can you do it yourself? Now, marketing, I get it. Not everybody can do marketing. It's a different beast altogether. But at the same time, you have to have the willingness to learn it, adapt, and change. So you got to learn how to do everything yourself. And then when you get to the point where you're big enough and you're just too busy, then you can start paying it, because then the time is worth more than the money. That's why you spend the money. But in the beginning, the money is worth more than the time. So that's why you put in the time, if that makes sense. So I hope anyone who has a business or been in business or is trying to survive this economic time, you make sure that you guys want to do as much as you can, save as much money, and try to pin down your profits where you can. Like, this is for one of my sites, but like I do all my P&Ls right here. I spend a day. Each site has its own bank accounts. And then I analyze everything that comes in and everything that goes out, and I analyze it on percentages. So this is actually one of our brand new sites down in Tulsa. And like I said, like their total revenue, this is for my moving company. Their total revenue for that month was $70,382. Uh, Total fleet costs, including fuel, insurance, loans, anytime we had to rent a truck, and hotel expenses for out of state was 40% of revenue. Payroll was 10% of revenue. Operation costs of the site, which means all the expenses needed to run the site, such as the wireless, the cell phones, the wireless, the home, the office, internet and phone, the electric bill, the home base, the clock in app, I should say, supply costs, lead costs, advertising, miscellaneous expenses, which is like they had to make a one-time charge or something. Oh, shout out to Caddy, glad to have you in here. And you're looking at like that was 16%. But at the end of the day, that site totaled, and of course I had some nice credits back from my rentals, so that was also good. Almost just shy of $20,000 profit for its first full month, and this was August. 70. So out of $70,000, we made about 20. What was that? Let me take a look here. I didn't actually put the percentage down, but 1936 9.13 divided by 382.13. 27.5% profit. That's pretty freaking amazing, right? So that means I made basically 20 cents on every dollar. That is not the case in some areas. Like I know my Little Rock site, my like Tulsa is 16% operations cost of revenue. Little Rock is 21%. And they made basically about 15 cents on the dollar. So every site's different, and that's how I do it. I always analyze everything, every specific number in detail I try to analyze. And that's how I can improve it. Because if I can see, and if I see that, hey, someone's like both payrolls, like, okay, so Little Rock's payroll was 18%. Why is it 18%? Oh, because they're in like Tulsa's cheaper to live in than Little Rock. So okay, so then we obviously have to pay more people there more. We try to keep it all the same for starting positions, but we do have some people that do get paid more. They have more experience in Little Rock and everything. And the payroll was roughly about 30% bigger than at least just the numbers wise. But at Little Rock, you're looking at 10 employees. Tulsa, you're looking at 5 employees. So, just keep that in mind there. But if you analyze your businesses like that, then you'll be able to see where the money's going, and then you could pull money out. So I know that Tulsa made $20,000. I'll pull half of it out, put it into the reserve account. And then the rest of it goes right into the central hub operation account, which pays for this office, the corporate office, and all the people here, which I'm the only one here at this moment because a lot of people work from home. You're there more than welcome to come into the office, although if they have to print, they come in when they have to print stuff, but that's really it. But with that said, I don't got too much else to say. I got to get going and work on my business. I didn't realize it was already 10 o'clock. I got some meetings and stuff to do today. Sorry we didn't have time for our Q&A session at the end. Hopefully we'll have time tomorrow. Tomorrow's a little slower usually for me. But we really appreciate you guys coming in. Shout out to Pet Dance. Hey, I saw you in here earlier. Really appreciate you being here so long. Follow me for cute pets. Have a nice day. You too. Hey, sometimes you just need to recharge by looking at some goofy pets. So shout out to Callie. Awesome discussion today, as always. Great to have you. Also, one of our great supporters and moderators. Really love to have you in here. Hopefully, we get to have you sometime join the live and give some of your feedback. It's always nice to see someone who has a little bit more life experience than me give you guys some views on how they view things and everything. I can only give you on my viewpoint, as I said on the what's in your portfolio. I didn't really grow up poor. I didn't really grow up a lot. I grew up pretty much upper middle class. So I can only tell you from there. I kind of started on like second or third base, and I kind of walk to the home base. Shout out to Callie. One of these days I'll be able to join the live. My thoughts exactly. Yeah, we'll have you on here. We're going to be doing more lives more frequently, more videos coming out. Also, if you guys want to support, because we are bad at editing. I'm just going to let you know that right now. We are bad at editing. So supporting the Patreon also helps support this platform and turn it into a business where I can actually pay an editor to, and some other people to kind of join in and help get us, because it's actually becoming a little bit too much. I want some different opinions helping me get more information, news articles, things like that. And hopefully we can grow this channel to be that, because I don't want to keep giving the same information and just my perspective alone. But not many people are able to share in the same success I have had. So I'm always happy to share how I got there, what it's like, and a lot of what's under the iceberg. Because you see the success, you see the easy part, but I'm trying to show you all the hardship underneath. So, and shout out to Cali X2. Again, I can give you my poor man's perspective and everything not to do. Exactly. And sometimes it helps, because you never know. Sometimes your mistake is actually like hundreds of other people's mistake, and everybody can learn from it and say, "Oh, I made the same mistake too." I'm glad that there's a chance for me to turn it around. So just remember that, and it's never really too late to turn it around. But you just got to remember, if you're getting up there, if you're like me, 40 and up, and you're trying to really start that journey, we got to steer you clear of some of the pitfalls, because there are a lot of scams and a lot of worthless things that can take your money, and you're back to square one. But with that said, guys, I really appreciate you guys joining in on the live. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the likes and all the support. And if you guys want to join the Patreon, the link is in the bio, or you can go to our YouTube page or our Facebook page. Link is there. We just posted a couple videos that are going to debut end of this week and next week. So hopefully, you guys can join, get those early releases, because sometimes I can do 4 weeks worth, but they all debut on one day. They all come live instantly as soon as I post them on Patreon. So thank you guys, and shout out to Kali X2. The other side definitely helps. People feel guilty for not doing things right. Exactly. And don't feel guilty about doing things right. You'd be surprised. 99% of us do things wrong. And even myself, I made a lot of mistakes. And I have a few planned on some lives to go over and share some of my mistakes. Most likely on Saturday to share some mistakes. But it's okay to make mistakes. We're all human. None of us are perfect. If you were perfect, you wouldn't be here. Trust me on that.
Yep.
You would have a big G to your name. So, and I just, like, as far as I know, I don't got a big G next to my name. So I'm not perfect. I will make mistakes. I make plenty of mistakes. I actually want to do this next Saturday live about how I made a mistake with an attorney, and how that attorney stole $12,000 from me. So, and I have, I think my biggest loss was 800,000. I'll have to go back and look, because some of them I just get numb to the losses. But it's always good to go over those, because everyone's always saying, like, I made all this money, I made all this money, I made all this money. I'm going to show you I lost all this money, I lost this, I lost that, I made this mistake, chose this bad person, bad relationship, bad deals, bad partners, businesses collapsing. So all the fun stuff to go over with you guys. So with that said, though, I gotta leave. I know Cody has his off day. We might be back on live if there's some, like.
Oh, I would love to go live later. I didn't get to talk that much on this one. I'm sorry about that. I got really busy, but I was listening to all of it.
And sometimes, like I said, usually Tuesday and Wednesday are Cody's days off from both his jobs, so we might be able to come on live in the afternoon. I'm not sure yet, but we do appreciate you guys joining in. And we're going to sign off right now. And just remember, do your own research, do your due diligence. Don't invest everything in a moonshot. Always diversify, and never invest your nest egg. Always keep that safe. Also, don't invest in anything you don't understand. Don't invest in anything you don't understand. With that being said, I will see you guys maybe later today, but definitely tomorrow morning again. Also, subscribe to YouTube. We got a lot of videos that are going to be premiering over the next several weeks. And if those interviews that I did with business members are coming, they are coming. I'm just having a terrible time in editing because I'm terrible at it. But I'm trying to put it all together for you guys. So with that said, thank you guys. Join the Patreon if you want to get to the videos beforehand, or just subscribe on YouTube and wait till they premiere. But thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Get that bag, and we will see you tomorrow morning, definitely.